I don't know, doing this story. So there were clubs open, like I said, all over the place, and I got called. And this is probably the end of my thing. It was like 84, 85. I got sober finally in May of 85. I started to get sober in March, but I knew I was getting burnt out, and I got called to do a club in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. It was late 84, early 85, and the booker was a ventriloquist named David Strassman. He said, look, it's in a strip joint. I said, I'm not doing it in a strip joint. I did that when I first started in Washington, D.C. I tried it one time. I said, I'll never do another strip joint again. I'm never doing it. He said, no, it's okay. They clear the place out of all the perverts, and then they just bring comedy fans in. So it'll be cool. You'll like the place. You're going to like it. I said, all right. I said, okay. And like I said, I knew I was an alcoholic before I knew I was an alcoholic, and I fly up there, and I just want to stay straight before the first show. If I could just maintain before the first show. So I come out of the airport, and the guy there to greet me, a guy named Lanier, really nice guy, tall black man with a cowboy hat, and he had an old pickup truck, and I get in the cab with him, and Lanier goes, hey, man, and he got a little cooler. He said, want a beer? I said, no, man, I'm okay. He says, oh, okay, man. Hey, you want a joint? He pulls out a joint. I said, no, man. He says, oh, you want some Coke? And he pulls out some Coke. I said, no, I'm okay. He says, oh, you want some whiskey? And he pulls a little whiskey bottle out from the glove box. I said, no, I'm okay. He says, motherfucker, you're in Alaska. You better start doing something. And I didn't nearly know what he was saying. All I knew is I was not going to do anything. So he drives me to the comedy condo, and I come up to the condo, and he opens the door, and I go in. I walk in, and there's a naked woman doing cocaine at the kitchen table. And I almost thought I was in the wrong place at first. I go, I'm the comedian. And she goes, the other comedian. She goes, Vic, the other comedian's here. And a door opens next to me to a bedroom, and this huge guy, naked guy, kind of bounces into the door frame, and it's Vic Dunlap, who I'd heard about and seen like all over the place. He was one of those guys who was Make Me Laugh, and he was a big road act, and he was and he just looked like he'd been fried, man. He just kind of bounced in the door frame. He goes, "Thank God you're here," and he falls back under the bed. So we drive over to the gig that night for the first show, and we get backstage, and of course, there's strippers everywhere, and they answered every question the same way. Everybody in Alaska has nicknames because they're all running from outstanding arrest warrants in the lower 48, right? So you'd ask these strippers, "Where are you from? You got any coke?" That's what every question got. You got any coke? That got answered back. So Vic is saying, "Listen, here's how the show's got to go. You go out, do as long as you can do, and when you can't do anymore, come backstage, and behind the wall leading out to the stage, on a 2x4, he had a little plate of cocaine on. He said, you do some coke, and when I'll do as long as I can do, and we'll go back and forth like I said, no, that's not how we're going to do it. I do my 45, you do your 45, and then we switch to order the next night. That's how we do it. He said, okay, man, go ahead. So I walk out on stage, he introduced me, and I start to talk, and immediately a waitress in front of me with a double shot. She goes, drink. And I go, no, let me do a couple drinks. No, drink. And the whole crowd's like going, drink. And I was always susceptible to peer pressure. So I do it a shot. And then next thing I know, I started to do another joke. I started to do the next thing. And again, she's got another shot. Drink. And I'm 3 shots in. I haven't done a joke. Now, I was a guy who drank a lot, but I wasn't a guy who could hold my liquor real well. It's not like I could drink anybody on the table. I start to stagger. I'm 3 shots in, and I'm looking over, and Vic's like, come on over. And I go, let me bring out the next comedian. I haven't done one joke, and I'm bringing the next comedian out. So I go off. Vic comes on. I start doing some coke. Vic's drinking. He comes off. We switched back and forth all night. It was tag team. We stood out together. We did like old sketches. We started doing vaudevilles. We were drunk. The end of the show, this big Texan comes over to me, and he just these guys. They were all these pipeline workers. This is back in the early 80s. They were making so much money. They came off. They'd have sandwich bags full of coke. They'd have guns in their boots, and they'd have big wads of cash. And he goes, "You're funny. You're coming with me." And it's like fantastic, free cocaine. I knew that. So we go off into this place. It was a gambling joint. It was every other house was like a after hours bar gambling joint. So we walk in, and it was like one of these James Bond things. You walk in, and there's velvet tables. It's like a regular house. You walk in, there's like gambling everywhere, and there's women serving drinks, and there's like this illegal bar. And he's gambling, and I'm standing behind him, earning my coke by doing jokes and joking around. And then he gets up, he goes, look, I'm going to go get a blowjob. You hold the table for me. Hold my seat, because there were a lot of people waiting to go into each seat. So I go, okay, I'll sit down. And I don't gamble well. I don't gamble. So I wasn't really gambling at all, which I didn't know was a problem until he came back out, and he said, is he holding the seat? And the dealer goes, he's not gambling at all. And the guy, I'll never forget it, he grabs me in the back of my neck. I never felt a grip like this in my life. He goes, gamble, motherfucker, gamble. So I just start gambling, man. I'm betting wild. I'm playing blackjack. I go, 18, hit me. I don't care. I don't know. I'm just gambling. I'm gambling. So this is going on all night long. All night long. We're just drinking down blokes. And we come out, and it's still dark. Now, I go, this is fantastic. I beat the sun up. This is, to me, a win. A win. Anytime I come out and the sun's not out yet, I think it's fantastic. And I see Lanier coming across the parking lot. And I go, hey, Lanier, this is great. I'll see you later today. He goes, later tonight, motherfucker. It's 7 o'clock. You got a show in an hour. I forgot Alaska. It was the winter. It was dark. It's dark all the time. So that's what happened. For 3 days, we did not sleep. Vic and I did not sleep. So at the end, I was virtually hallucinating, man. And Lanier takes me to the airport. And this is, again, back in the old days, that we didn't have any kind of TSA security. All they had was one of those old, like, kind of X-ray machines that was just set up to pick up artillery shells, You just walk through this. And Lanier walked me right on the plane. He didn't have a ticket. He just walked me right on the plane. He sits me down. He buckles me in. He puts a big vial of Coke in my pocket and says, this will hold you till L.A., brother. And then it's a red eye. So I'm like going to the flight attendant. I need some scotch. I need it now. She goes, sir, we haven't taken off yet. I know, give it to me now. And I'm back in the back. I'm already smoking. They said, put out your cigarettes. We're going to take off. So as soon as they take off, I'm drinking and smoking. I'm going to the bathroom every 3 seconds. Everybody else is falling asleep. But the flight attendant, one flight attendant noticed I was doing a lot of trips to the bathroom. She says, are we having a party back there? I said, yes. She said, can I join the party? I said, absolutely. Fantastic. Come on. So we're in there, and I'm thinking this is an opportunity, and I think we're going to have sex. But, I got coke dick, I mean? She's trying to make it happen. I said, your best shot is punch me in the stomach, and when it pops out, grab it. Right? So I go back, and I end up, she was living someplace down the airport, so I stayed with her for a couple of days, And I finally get home. I was married at the time. My wife had called in a missing person thing on me or something. I don't know. But I finally show up at home, and I woke up a couple days later. I just slept for a couple days. And when I woke up, I immediately picked up the phone, and I called Strasser. I said, book me back there as fast as you can, man. All right. See you another night. Thank you.